Hello, Provo City. I'm Superintendent Dow of the Provo City School District, and today is Monday, September 29th. We hope that you had a fantastic weekend as we are marching into the month of October very, very quickly. On October 2nd is National Custodians Appreciation Day. We hope that as you interact with your schools and your school custodians, that you will give them a shout out and some gratitude for all of the work that they do to make our schools and our facilities as inviting and amazing as possible for our students to learn in. We know that they have a very difficult job, and this week's podcast did talk with Jeff Hawkins, our custodial facilitator, and just talked about really what custodians do and how they contribute to our overall vision and mission in Provo City School District. We also have an attendance challenge that is coming up. It's called Show Up Provo, and it really is trying to get our students and our parents and our community to understand how important it is for our students to be at school. One of the things our employers around here tell us is that one of the greatest challenges they have is in finding workers that are willing to show up consistently every single day and be committed to their job. And so we want to make sure that we are preparing our students for that. And we also know that they can't learn if they're not at school. So on October 8th is our big Show Up Provo spectacle, if you will. We have schools that have created different goals. Our principals are trained to award classes that have perfect attendance, with everything from treats to pizza parties to different things, so that they understand the importance of them being here and being here consistently. So just want you to be aware of that's coming up, and that our principals are establishing goals for their schools, and we really want our students to improve in their overall attendance, not get worse, but actually get better, and realize the importance of being in class and being in school every single day. We also want to make you aware that we are in the process of developing a partnership with the Utah System of Higher Education called Admit Utah. This would allow a student to go into a website and to submit their information and apply to all of our public institutions at one time and be admitted to all of the applicable institutions in one fell swoop, rather than going in and applying to each institution individually. We have our data privacy agreement already in place and made sure that we are upholding all of our privacy regulations with regard to data privacy, student privacy, and a student would only be allowed to participate if their parent opts them in. So that information will be coming out in the next few weeks, so that parents, especially of our current seniors, could opt into having information shared with this particular website, so that their student could apply to this particular website that will be associated with the Utah System of Higher Ed, and not have to go into each individual school's website to do so. More information to come on that. We are working with our high schools to see if we can align that with their Utah College Application Week, so that students can get really, truly the greatest benefit from this as they are applying to universities and to vocational schools and technical colleges in the next month or so. Please note that students would only be allowed to participate in this particular program if their parents opt into that. There is no requirement that students sign up for it. It's just an opportunity to try to break down barriers to the college and post-secondary admissions process. Last week, we were able to meet with our Community Connections Committee. We loved the rich conversations that we had, where we're trying to improve the rigor of all of our classes across the board, not just for students that are in gifted and talented, a desire to have opportunities for students to see what they're learning and why it is relevant to what they're going to do, and how it relates to the larger world around them, and how building specific skills in math and in reading help in that process, so that they can access that grade level content and really be creative in their thought processes and really push them in terms of critical thinking and communication skills. So it was fun to have a conversation with them, to also talk about possibilities in terms of what does it look like in terms of, as we're looking at funding our schools moving forward, what are the kinds of questions that are out there in our community, and how can we be better stewards of the resources that we have, so that we are providing a fantastic education for all of our students. I've been able to be in a ton of classrooms these last few weeks and just want to highlight a few things. I'm really appreciative of the work that our staff is doing at Franklin Elementary. We see a huge emphasis on academic performance and growth as well as in behavior. I was able to go into Miss Shore's first grade classroom at Franklin Elementary. She did so many things so well. They had a lockdown drill. I've never seen first graders behave so well during a lockdown drill. Miss Shore clearly had really great expectations for the students. And then just how she utilized instructional time as she was teaching specific literacy and reading skills. It was fantastic and a real joy to watch. Loved being at Edgemont Elementary, got to go into a first grade dual language immersion class and kind of got in trouble for speaking English in the French class. And so it was fantastic to see what our little first graders were already learning in French, having only been in school for a little over a month. Loved going into Miss Lozer's second grade classroom, just really impressed with the engagement and the procedures and the routines that were in place and how positive the classroom was as she was supporting the students. And then I got to visit the second grade team at Provo Peaks Elementary. It was fantastic. They were learning math and about different ways in which you write numbers in expanded form or word form so that they could visualize it as well as explain it verbally. It was fantastic to see those teachers and the collaboration that was taking place. Really want to give a big shout out to our legislators who have been in classrooms observing and talking with principals and teachers and just really trying to understand the great things that are happening in Provo City School District as well as some of the challenges that we face in terms of not only funding, but just in terms of making sure that we're providing the very best educational experience for all of our students. Thank you to everyone who's made American Founders Month so successful. We did a podcast with Mrs. Raymond's class on the preamble to the Constitution. We've had several teachers, particularly in our 5th grade classes that emphasizes U.S. history, as well as in our 8th grade and 11th grade classes, just talking about the Constitution, how important it is, and lots of opportunities for students to have some real world applications. And so just really excited to see all of that great work that's happening across our district and just how fortunate we are to live in a country that is governed by such a document that really can balance powers and also protect individual rights at the same time. It's just really fun to see the teachers create these creative lessons to help our students gain a great appreciation for being here in the United States. With that, that's all I have for this week. I hope you have a fantastic week, everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye.